Attitude of Altitude podcast presented by Planet of One. We're sharing stories and conversations, encouraging and empowering listeners to be bold, take action, and be your best self, so we may be the change we desire to see in this world. Know that your attitude determines your altitude in life. Welcome to the podcast.
But I think a lot of actors get discredited for saying this job is really hard, because people see the glitz and the glam and the red carpets and the posters and the fun aspects of the job, and, you know, getting to be on set and getting your hair and makeup done. And all of that is fantastic. And they really are perks of the job, but it comes with so many rejections and putting your whole heart and soul and body and being on the line for a job that you have like a 1 in 1,000 chance of getting. And then you get criticism, and it's, you know, your entire job is to be in front of the public and be judged for it, basically.
Myself, when you're so young, everything that happens feels like the end of the world. It's just like, I think just like a natural thing, because you haven't overcome something like that before. So you haven't seen yourself come out on the other side of it. And so every breakup, every like friendship ending, you know, everything that happens, every bad grade, like anything that happens feels like your world has stopped spinning on its axis. Like truly, I felt that a lot. Like I felt like, and it might, yeah, I think older people are like, oh my gosh, that's so dramatic. But in that headspace, like it feels so real.
Oh my God, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm always so back and forth about my own work. I mean, as any artist is, you know, it's always like, oh, I hate it. No, I love it. No, I hate it. You know, kind of thing. Or like, I'll be taking the photos and be like, I love it. And then I'm editing them. I'm like, I don't know what to do with them. Like, I find that I take so long to post any of my photography because I go back and forth so often.
This tool that we have of social media is a blessing and a curse, because it also exposes me to all of the people my age that just don't agree, that just will argue and argue and argue and not understand that like what we're trying to do is for people, and just no one's trying to hurt anyone. So I think there's a sense of being aware of the amount of people that we sort of have to convince before we can move forward.
It's selfishly, it's the consistency of sharing gratitude in my life that has done so much for me. I haven't tried to expand the room or anything. I just want to make sure that I have gratitude when I wake up in the morning, and the best way to do that is to share it verbally.
It's given me more confidence in my own strength and courage. It's made me even embolden myself more, not to put men down or any other group down, but rather we are still, as women, unfortunately, not only in the world, but in this country, still secondhand citizens in either the way we're paid for equal jobs. We're still, you know, at least 15 to 20% lower than a man for the same job. That's after how many years? Secondly, now our individual rights are being removed by legislatures.
I think a lot of women, including as I'm speaking for myself, was to find somebody to make me happy. And then you're looking for happiness at the wrong places, rather than creating happiness for yourself first. Like when you're happy and in love with yourself, then it's so much easier to make the right choices, because you can see with a clear lens rather than a dirty lens what's out there, what you're looking at.
We all have this capacity to care for one another inside, to love one another. I mean, love doesn't want to be trapped in our tiny little bodies. It wants to come out wants to care for each other, wants to embrace each other's uniqueness. We want to laugh. We just want that acknowledgement. We want to share it. And when we're in an environment where it isn't the majority acceptance in that way, collaborating from that level, it becomes a distortion.
Whenever you have lunch and somebody else doesn't have lunch, you don't have to give them enough to fill their stomach. But if you give them even a small piece, you will get to eat your lunch and enjoy it. And you will feel better that you gave them some, and you will enjoy your lunch. So just share your lunch. That, I think, stayed with me in my subconscious in a way where I wasn't even thinking about that throughout the years. But I know that throughout my life, I felt, always to share with someone else, to give someone else who seemed to not have as much as I did, even when I didn't have a lot.
I think it's because like my mantra in life and for my family too is don't give up 5 minutes before the prize, right? So it's staying positive. It's, knowing that most people give up after the first try. And it's really coaching people to say, you're better on a do-over. Keep going. And this is, this is for little kids too. They get so frustrated and, things are hard with COVID and yet I say, you know what, just do it again. Just do it, have a do-over. And I think that sometimes just that positive attitude of saying, you know what, oh, well, I didn't get it right this first time, but I'm going to just try it.
One day you'll meet somebody, you'll see them, and you'll be like, oh, that's me. And you get to be that kid's hero. You got to keep going, channel this, get it out into something, don't stop now. If you're going through hell, why would you stop there? Get to the other side, because on the other side, somebody is waiting for you, and don't do it alone. Get it out,
But what that did for me, getting these hearing aids, is it increased my self-esteem, my self-confidence. I didn't have to listen as hard. I had the ability to read lips already, which I wasn't really super cognitive of, but I now know that that's what I did to get through.
But what I found is that when I finally listened, it got so much quieter. So it makes me wonder how many people don't know this as I didn't. That is there something that you need to be free from? Is there something that your body is asking for you? Is there a relationship you need to get out of? Is there calling that's been calling you to move forward and you keep hushing it and quieting it, pushing it down? What if we listened to what's here? Would we not struggle as much? Like, to me, I believe that's what means choosing to live, is when we listen to what's in here.